Welcome to Montreal, Paul Jones and Sherman Hamilton, and behind us you would be blind not to notice that are the cups of the Montreal Canadiens. I know Ottawa, Toronto, Winnipeg, Edmonton, Calgary, Vancouver, all a little envious right now, Sherman, but this is just where the producer set us up.
Yeah.
And what a buzz in this city for basketball now, in addition to hockey.
Yeah, this is a basketball hotbed here. And, you know, in Montreal, the grassroots of basketball are big as well. And it's no surprise that they support the Raptors. They'll support basketball on any level here. But it's kind of tough to be standing in front of all these cups for the Montreal Canadiens when we're trying to focus on basketball and the Raptors, but great tradition here, though.
Well, projected to be a sellout, Sherman. You talked about the buzz. Dwayne Casey talked about the arena. Looks like a great arena. The fans, again, like we saw in Vancouver, very passionate about their basketball in another part of the country. And it speaks to the fact that this game, and I love your term, it's been swelling under the ground, and now it's poking its way up in Vancouver and Montreal, all across the country.
All across the country. And, you know, guys like us, we're not surprised about that, but the reality is that now there's a platform for it. The growth of the game at the grassroots level is really going up the charts, and the fact now is their success. The Raptors had a great season last year, and now people are paying attention.
Yes.
There's a platform to talk about basketball. And, you know, I thought the interesting thing that happened with the success of the Raptors is the fact that you got the casual fan interested in the game. And that, to me, is how you kind of create that interest. You pique everybody's attention, and you get people just starting to pay attention a little bit more to basketball. And before you know it, the casual fan becomes enthralled by what they see. And success usually does that.
Winning conquers everything, doesn't it? It's a good deodorant. Covers up everything else. Covers up everything else. Well, what we're not going to beat each other to is the fact that Dwayne Casey is going to use this as a dress rehearsal. He talked about his starters getting more minutes tonight, trying to really hone in and implement offensive plays, some of the new stuff they've put in, although he says he doesn't want to show it all, some of the defensive strategies and philosophies, just fine-tuning them, Sherm. We're less than a week away from the opener against Atlanta.
Yeah, and I think the players are happy that this is the last preseason game, and coaches as well. But coaches are going to like that week between to be able to get guys tighter, get some rotations down, and understand, you know, defensively and offensively where you are for the beginning of the season. Practice time is crucial in the preseason. Without these games, you get a chance to really drill things in daily. And I think for the starters, guys who are trying to, you know, get their legs and get their rhythm back, they've had the luxury of playing in spurts throughout this preseason. This game against a division rival is going to be interesting because you're going to get extended minutes. I think the coaches are going to go deeper into their playbooks and kind of try some things that they're going to be preparing for the regular season. So it's going to be more of an semblance of real NBA basketball, NBA regular season basketball. It's going to be fun for the fans to see.
All right, Sherm, a divisional opponent, the Knicks, who 2 years ago were Atlantic Division champs, had, you know, a terrific season, lost in the Eastern Conference semifinals. They plummeted last year, but in speaking to some of the Knicks people, we sense that culture change around the Knicks. Phil Jackson at the top, Derek Fisher, ex-Lakers Jim Clemens on the bench. There's a lot of ex-Raptor presence there with Quincy Acey, Andrea Bargnani, Jose Calderon. They're trying to change things around in New York. This is a divisional opponent, and they've got a new offense they're working with, a lot of moving parts in New York as well.
Well, it is, and some guys are going to have to adjust quite a bit from the styles that they've been playing in the past, but I think a guy like Jose Calderon helps facilitate that, being a pass-first point guard, as we know from his time in a Raptor uniform. And also, you know, when the expectation and the culture changes, when your lead guys adapt, guys like Carmelo Anthony, that really suggests to the team that, hey, we're all in. And I think the Knicks have that opportunity right now. Phil Jackson is one of the great minds in basketball. And in terms of getting guys, especially superstars, to understand, hey, there's a way to get it done. It's a process, but if you believe in it and stick with it, you're going to have success. And the rings prove it for Phil. So I do think even though Derek Fisher is a rookie head coach, the leadership of Phil Jackson, Jim Clemens, as you mentioned, beside Derek Fisher on the bench, is going to be major. And now you just need buy-in from the team. And I think they've put some pieces in place that are going to help the buy-in process.
Interesting, J.R. Smith talking about, I've always been a me guy, in a sense, never really thought about the team, and it's a philosophy, and I'm going to try to adapt to it. You can see how it goes down, the last preseason game for the Toronto Raptors. Tonight on the TSN family of networks, Sherman and I will have the call on TSN 1050 starting at 7:30.